Good day to you again. This is Brielle. Besides just reading tarot cards, I have other abilities and things I've learned over the years. So I thought I would do some basic courses and explanations about things for people who are not well versed in the understanding of magic and magical practices, as well as a passion of mine, divination. And one of the things that I use in my divination is a tool known to people in my field and in their own personal studies as a pendulum. Now, if you notice, it's not very complex, and it doesn't need to cost a lot of money. Some could be elaborate, and some are made of precious stones and materials. I used to have a very nice one made out of a bloodstone, but the chain broke and I didn't have the time to fix it. Now, the principle of the pendulum, they say you have to hold it a certain way, either through this finger or this finger or another. But I just do what's comfortable for myself. It's a device that could be used to help you make decisions and to lead you to where you want to be led to. An example of it in application is as follows. Saying I wanted to purchase one of these two stones, but I only had enough money to buy one of them. Now, also in the circles I run with, we believe that stones have spiritual properties that can assist us. And I know what these stones actually mean, but here's an example. Now, what you would do is you would hold your pendulum over them, and through your spiritual connection to things, or even through your unconscious, what would happen is you hold your hand as still as possible while you're holding your pendulum, and eventually it will start to move, as you're seeing, to whichever thing will answer your question better. And as you can see, I'm holding my hand as still as possible, and the pendulum seems to be gravitating to the lapis lazuli. So my pendulum was telling me that with the resources I had at the time, that the lapis lazuli, I don't even know if I pronounced that properly. I've been saying that like that for years. But it's saying that this one would be more advantageous for me to purchase at the time, which is interesting because lapis lazuli gives benefits and helps people who are autistic like myself. Now, another use of the pendulum could be used in another one of my passions, in my card reading. Perhaps I have several cards on the table, and I'm not sure which one following would lead to the greatest benefit to the problem I was having. So I would simply lay my cards on the table, and I would hold my pendulum in my hand, and hold it between them both in the exact center. Now, we'll see where the pendulum gravitates to. And as you can see, it's almost in a way pulling my hand the direction it wants to go. And the pendulum is telling me that I would need to have the wisdom of the card of the Empress, we're not going to go into the exact meanings of that right now because I'm demonstrating to you about this interesting and wonderful magical tool, the pendulum. Now right now on the spot, because I have a notion to do so, I could show you another way it could work as an oracle. If you notice behind me, there's a depiction of what's known as a Ouija board. Now, I'm going to make right now a simple makeshift version with a few different choices to demonstrate how you personally could use a pendulum, and also how you could create new and innovative ways to use it. I have 4 strips that I cut from an index card. Now I'm going to give possible answers to a question. Okay. In a way, we're kind of making this into a magical 8-ball. Now, I just made this up off of the top of my head right now. I'm going to present a question to the pendulum, and I made 4 different choices. Yes, no, ask later, or do not ask for some time. When you're using your pendulum, you are the controller of the answers and the questions, and you can make up whatever answers and questions you like. I'm going to present a question. You can ask your oracle, the pendulum, which, when I'm actually thinking about it, because I'm very scatterbrained, sometimes I like to use my left hand, because to me, left hand is my hand for drawing in energy. So I use that for my divinations and answers sometimes when I select my cards as well. We're going to present it a question. Let's make one up. You have a friend who's coming in from out of town. Now, your friend may have some unpleasant qualities, but you've known him for a long time, and you're very busy. Now, you may ask yourself, should I brush this friend off? Because really, I'm not going to really enjoy their presence anyway. But you may be having a conflict in your mind, and you may say, well, maybe something interesting could happen, or maybe, there's something I can learn from this situation, but you're really not sure what you want to do. So, we could ask our pendulum what we could do about it. Now, with these answers I just made, we hold it in the exact center, and we try to put it in a position of stop, and then let go as gently as possible, not to actually jar it with the motion of our body. And now, we wait with the question that we had in mind. And you don't even need to speak this out loud. And as it gravitates, it will start to circle and go in a circular direction. It does that sometimes. And it seems like it's pointing down to the direction. And as you can see, it's kind of pulling itself in a way. And I am not deliberately moving my hand or my body, but it's telling me that the answer to this should be no. So perhaps on an unconscious level, I know that having this friend come over would probably not be advantageous to me at the time. So there, in a nutshell, is what pendulums are and how they can be effective to be used in divination and your magical practices. Now, I might use my pendulum in the future and show you further some of the amazing benefits of this unique magical tool. I thank you for coming and spend this time with me and for inviting me to go on your journey of life with you for a few moments. And I wish you many blessings.